सर्व विघ्नोपशान्तये कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता साकां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् आपदामहत्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आर्तानामार्तिहन्तारं भीतानां पीडिनाशनं द्विषतां कालदण्डन्तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् मनोज्जवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वादात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। चरितं रघुनाथस्य शतकोटिप्रविस्तरम् एकैकमक्षरं पुंसां महापातकनाशनं। Hari Om. So we are just coming to the Yuddhakandam where the Rama and his team of Vanaras finally, they Hanuman having returned with the identity of the Chudamani and telling the greatness of, as we have discussed, the how great a lady. He says, "Un perundevi enum urumekki unnai petra tan perundanai nane kanden man perum en perundevi en perum deivam ayya," he says. She is such a great lady. I have seen myself. I think she is just the Lokamata. That's what he is telling. And even before offering his pranams to Rama, he offers his pranam to the direction in which Lanka is there. In obeisance to Sita, that is the greatness he is having. Having seen that Rama is further he is impelled. Let us do the things as fast as possible. And they just even the Ocean King, when he raises some sort of objection, because finally he is being tamed by Rama. By threatening with the one arrow, he will take the entire the water of the ocean and he will dry it up. So then he goes to the Lanka and finally, the entire fight takes place. It has been made it into one sloka here. Tena gatva purim lankam. It is 81. Tena gatva purim lankam hatva ravanamahave ramam sitaamanuprapya param vridam upagamat. So when he goes there and having everything done all, and then he brings back Sita. Here I think they have used certain words to tell because how finally because the entire thing turns out and all. But in the meanwhile, Yuddhakandam, because some other things which is not covered here, we will be taking into account. As they were going about, because when the first day, when Rama arrives, then the message goes to Ravana and all. I think, because this entire army has come, they are onto they've entered the Lanka and they are waiting, because the fight is going to take place and all. So he gets totally sort of, the angry, and he sends, I will send all my people, because first, let him, before facing me, let him face my people. Then I will take care of him and all. So in that process, he asks his brother Kumbhakarna, you go and fight with because he sends his army and they are not able to, and he himself goes afterwards. First his brother goes, Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna is, of course, because of his own sort of a boon, he had to be, in slumber, but the best part of the time, and rest of the time, he has to be awake and he has to take care of it. But Kumbhakarna is a very wise man. He advises along with Vibhishana, Ravana, you don't do this thing. What you have done is absolutely immoral, and not only that, it is not we should have done. You are a king and we are all with you, and you got so many other things going and all, you should not have indulged for your status, he says. But Ravana is not the one who is going to listen. He says, all you fellows, I have fed you and I have brought you up. Are you going to do or not? That's what he says. One of the very great words used in Tamil, because when all these people are depending upon the person who has brought them up and given them all the comforts and all, Senjotru Kadam. Senjotrikada in the sense they have given, all the best comforts of the life and the all the needs of the life, everything they have given. Therefore, even whether it is morally correct or not, but I am duty bound to fight for him. I will have to give up my life for him. This is called Senjotrikada. This Senjotrikadan has, because what we see is because it is a sort of a returning, because as a gratitude as to what you have done to me for entire life. The two people in the history of our Ramayana and Mahabharata who had to go by their, because they have to atone, because they have to return, in terms of, whatever they have got it, from the person, like Kumbhakarna to Ravana and Karna to Duryodhana. Because otherwise, because even though Karna was born as one of the Kunti Putra and all, since he was not known, finally he is being brought up by sort of, because the charioteer, he was considered he is not fit enough to be equivalent to a king and all. Finally, Duryodhana gives him a status. Who said that I am making him a king? So then, let him be given the equal status. That's how. Not only that, he consider he is next only to me, he is close friend of me. Whatever I am having, because that is the greatness of friendship. He does it here, the Kumbhakarna being a brother, and because Ravana gives him everything, and then he expects him to do what he expects out of him, because that is the gratitude, they will have to express. So when Vibhishana also tries to tell him, because he doesn't listen to. So Vibhishana decides, yes, if he is not listening, I will go and surrender to Rama. It would have been good if Ravana himself surrenders to Rama, because he would have given, he is such a great person, he is compassionate, he is a Sindhu, Karuna Sindhu, he would have taken him and, of course, the entire life would have been, but it is not to be because the fate has decided otherwise. So when he tells Kumbhakarna, say, in that case, I am going to surrender, will you be? And then further Kumbhakarna says, நீர்கோல வாழ்வை நச்சி நெடுதினாள் வளர்த்த பிள்ளை போர்க்கோலம் செய்து விட்டார்க்கு உயிர் கொடாது அங்கு போகேன் தார்கோல மேனிமைந்தன் என் துயர் தவிர்த்தனாகின். Because he has brought நீர்கோல வாழ்வை நச்சி, because like water, it is a temporary, it is a sort of, it's not going to be, he has given that life. But, நெடுதினாள் வளர்த்து, because he has brought us up all this while. போர்க்கோலம் செய்து விட்டாருக்கு உயிர் கொடாது. So once he has asked me to fight, I will have to give the life for him. I will not be coming to him. That shows at every point, the gratitude, irrespective of the fact. You are not, be sitting on the judgment whether it is right or wrong and all. But once you have got a duty bound to return, because whatever you have got from the person, you got to do irrespective of the fact. That is a great quality. It is not that, because you can't, you get everything and finally you sit on judgment. That doesn't happen. So once you have decided to get the benefit out of that, and you will have to stand by that. So once you work for an organization, when the organization is going down the hills, you should stand with the organization in bad times and try to bring it up. It's not that, you left in a lurch and go for higher pastures and all, which is not morally correct, because a lot of people, who have, if you had seen, because a lot of organizations, be in the private sector and public sector, they do it. Not only that, even if you can see the people, fair weather friends, who they come, because like they are all like stock market investors. All the foreign institutional investors, they come and flock and they put it when the market here is booming. But they are always finding a sort of a weightage to Indian market, because they have also got a weightage to other markets. When the other markets have got a better weightage, I think they leave. They are all called fair weather friends. That's why before allowing, all these foreign institutional investors, the Manmohan Singh, because he took a very, very sort of a calculated and wise decision. How, because the approved foreign institutional investor. So that there should be a limit. If there is a limitless, some of the countries where they didn't have any limit, they have suffered, like Indonesia. In sometimes, even the Malaysia and all, they have also suffered. But now they have also brought in, this type of a concept. But luckily in India, we had a great people, because the great the financial wizards were there, like Dr. Manmohan Singh and all. They have all created that approval mechanism for the institutional investors, so that our stock market is to some extent protected. So likewise, it is like that, because and at the same time, because they don't have any qualms. When they invest, they will come, in flocks, and your market goes up. Once they know it has peaked up and it doesn't have the real value and all, they will all just they go out in it. In one day you will find the stock market is coming down by 900 points or 1000 to 200 points or 2000 points. It happens everywhere and all, and because they have got some other market is waiting to be invested, that's how it happens. It is not that, because morally it is not something, the moral compass is there, but in business ethics, the moral compass has taken a back seat. But it's not only for that, even otherwise, when you have worked for an organization for 2 to 3 decades, when you find there is a problem, you have to stand by the organization and goes by that. These are all the certain moral ethics. Likewise, even if you are with the family or the group or anything like that, you'll have to stand till the last moment. These are all the things exemplified by persons, like Kumbhakarna and all. Is a very wise person. There is, his talk in the Yuddhakandam, Ramayanam, and there is, one particular surga, more than 10 to 15 slokas are by Kumbhakarna only to Ravana. This is worth to be heard. Like Vibhishana also gives the sagely advice, but Kumbhakarna, what he takes is more sort of pertinent, because he talks from the heart. So then, because once it happens, he Kumbhakarna goes there and fights and perishes. And then, because of course, the Vibhishana, he said, look, I can't stand this, and I have advised him. Because for his own good, I'm still feel quite, hurt, because my elder brother also, I want to save him, but he doesn't, accept what I can do for that. I will have to leave it as it. So then Kumbhakarna, before going to the, says, and I will have to fight for him. And he says, when he asks him, why don't you come and surrender to Rama? No, I will not be able to do it, because I will have to give the life for him. And he says, ஆகுவது ஆகும் காலத்து அழிவதும் அழிந்து சிந்தி போகுவதும் அயலே நின்று போற்றினும் போதல் திண்ணம். This is what Kamban says. So anyway, you have to go one day, but you go with, because by paying in return for what he has done, that is more graceful than to, because like Karna, finally he decides. When Kunti gives the news, that he's the eldest son of, he's the eldest in Pandava. He says, oh, whatever has happened, but then I will have to give the life to the man, who has given me a life. And he has made me something of what it is, because that is what the moral compass and the principle, which even the Krishna appreciates. Finally, when he gives him the redemption, in Gita, it also comes in Mahabharata, it's in the Parva, Shanti Parva, because before the Shanti Parva in the Kurukshetra Parva, he says that. So these are all the moral principles, that has been initiated. So after this, because suddenly as it happens, and Indrajit comes, and because he just mesmerizes, with his astras and all, and then because Lakshmana is falling, he is this swoon, and he brings the Sanjiva hills, to bring, he can't identify, he brings it and all. And then, because most of the entire, after the, once they are revived also, as the war goes on, at one point of time, the Rama and the entire army is fatigued. When fatigued, what is to be done? So there should be some inspiration. So some inspiration, how it comes at that point of time, the Agastya, the sage Agastya, he is the one, who gives him the Mahamantra of Aditya Hridayam. So when he gives the Aditya Hridayam, he says that mantra, you might have heard, because it's being recited every day and all. I will just share a few lines of that.
दैवतैश्च समागम्य द्रष्टुमभ्यागतोरणम्
Are you able to hear?
उपागम्याब्रवीद्रामम् अगस्त्यो भगवान् ऋषिः
This is by
राम
Sankalipura.
राम महाबाहो शृणु गुह्यम् सनातनम् येन सर्वानरेन् वत्स समरे विजयिष्यसि आदित्यहृदयम् पुण्यम् सर्वशत्रुविनाशनम् जयावहम् जपेन्नित्यम् अक्षय्यम् परमम् शिवम् सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यम् सर्वपापप्रणाशनम् चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमम् रश्मिमन्तम् समुद्यन्तम् देवासुर
That is Sengalipuram Anantaram Dikshitara.
Yeah.
But in our Ramakrishna Mission school days, it used to be a daily affair to recite Samkshepa Ramayanam.
So that was wonderful. And this Aditya Hridayam,
correct.
And the way it is recited every morning, you are supposed to be reciting once you get up. And so this is a very important mantra. All of us are supposed to be doing it for our own benefit. Chinta choka prasamanam, because your thoughts will be afterward without any distress. So after getting that, Rama and the entire team gets the full effulgence to fight. So in that also first day, because when Ravana comes, Ravana, because he was not able to face the fusillade of arrows, from Rama, he thinks, he is sort of a few Nara, what is he going to do? He comes, with some sort of a pejorative, approach. He takes it very lightly. But, the first day he was not able to withstand. He's just being blown into pieces. And once he gets totally tired, Rama asks him, better you go today and come tomorrow. Indrupoin Aleva in Kamban, there is one particular verse is there, you better go today and come tomorrow. That's what, you don't go to the person's weakness and try to go and finish him up. You give him enough opportunity so that he comes prepared. When he is fit enough, you fight with him, not, when he is totally down. That is again, it's the moral compass, because again Rama has displayed it. That also comes here. So finally when comes, first day, after having this, because it is beautifully said, and though it is also there in Valmiki Ramayanam also, and in Kamban has got beautifully, he was not able to find out, because what type of a person I thought, he is a simple human being, and the human beings are not capable because your power is limited, because you are not, he understands human being very well, and he has dealt with them and all. சிவனோ அல்லன் நான் முகனோ அல்லன் திருமாலோன் அவனோ அல்லன் மெய்வரம் எல்லாம் அடிக்கினன் தவனோ எண்ணின் செய்து முடிக்கும் இவனோதான் அவ்வேத முதல்வன் என்ற காரணம். வேத முதல் காரணம் என்ன? Because he is the pratipadya of the entire Veda. What finally Veda denotes, he must be that person. He is neither Brahma, he is neither Vishnu, nor he is the Shiva. In the sense, Parabrahma. He is the Parabrahma. That is because he comes in his mind. He is not, enamored and all, but after seeing his power, this is what he says. So these are all the very beautiful, because that has come in the Yuddhakandam. But in this, the 71st mantra, they have condensed the entire thing and taken in the Samkshepa Ramayanam. Tena gatva purim lanka hatva ravanamahave. So finally Ravana's death takes place. Rama Sita manuprapya param brita upagamat. After that, because after Rama's this is over, it is not the end of the story. The Rama wants, because finally whether Sita is, because she has to prove herself. She has been away, because Basically, because the everywhere, because Kamba Ramayanam deals with differently, Valmiki Ramayanam deals with differently and all. And he wants to know, because it's not for me or anyone, and she is Mahalakshmi, no one need to do it. But when as a epic, when it's being written, and Valmiki has the responsibility, so is Rama has a responsibility to his people in Ayodhya and all. Then what happens? Then he says, Tamuvacha tato Rama Purusho Jana Sansati Amurshyamana cha Sita Viveshajvalanam Sati. So he says, because that is, he says, Tam Uvacha tato Rama Parusham Jana Sansati. In the midst of, in the entire, the assemblage of, the people, when guards, everyone is watching, and, even all the Vanaras are there, and other side also, they are all Amurshyamana cha Sita Vivesha Jvalam Sati. And he says, it has to be done, because Sita intolerant of the, he says, finally it will be asked, what am I to do? Because I have a responsibility also. So this is where, the debate, where feminine and all those sort of, the liberty, all sorts of, why it is taking place and all. But it has got a philosophical connotation and all, because Sita herself would not like, she is the Uma Devi, and she would go into Bhumi anytime. She has not come out of the normal womb. And she will just go back, and she is a Prakriti, and the entire Prakriti is her creation. She doesn't have to ask anyone to go and all. But finally it is, once it is done, Sita says, she doesn't say anything. Finally she proves it by the act. Tato Agni Vachanat Sitam, it is 83 and 84. Tato Agni Vachanat Sitam Yatva Vikata Kalmasham Karmana Tena Mahata Trilokyam Chachacharam Sacharacharam. Tato Agnirvachanat Sitam. Agni, after having that, he himself comes, because what is that? I will not be able to sort of bear, that her grace and grandeur and all. And he himself, because in that, she enters, as if, she is walking across, and Agni is not able to bear it. Nyatva Vigata Kalmasham Karmana Tena Mahata Trilokyam Characharam, all the three worlds, all the sentients and insentients are watching. All over the world are watching at that point. See what to do. And when it happens, so the entire, the universe, it knows the grace of Sita. That is what, the Valmiki has said in the first, Balakandam itself. It is the glory of Sita. It is the entire Ramayana is talking about the glory of Sita through participation of Rama. Rama is there, finally to bring out the glory of Sita. And in that process, in the Ravanas, the death takes place and all those things. That's what he says. We have seen that mantra there and all. This is same thing, Sadeva Varshina, Sadeva Rishi Ganam, Tushtam Bhagavasya Mahatmanaha, all Devas and Rishis, they are seeing with their own, and they have just, they were waiting for this particular occasion to see that. So that this is going to be sort of all the yugas, this is going to be one exemplifying fact for the whole world to know. And what is the, because the dharma, and what is the entire, how the righteousness is going to be established, how, Sita is going to have our glory going all around, and the Ramayana is nothing but the glory of Sita. Babau Rama Samprahrishtav Pujitas Sarvadevataihi. After waiting for this wonderful moment, Samprahrishtav, and everyone is extremely sort of elated to see such an occasion which they are waiting for yugas. The entire Ramavatara they were able to see. This is what has happened. And when it happened, one of the things that is being missing here is, as all of them have assembled, Dasaratha also appears. He has been sent. Because, Dasaratha feels, because of me, my son has to, I gave a word to my wife, and my son has to be sent to forest. And finally he had to, because his wife has been abducted, Sita has been abducted, Janakatmajam, and he has to undergo all those things. He wanted to appease, so he appears, because he has been made to appear, because when Pitru comes and this one, Rama is able to see his father. At that point of time, what Rama is asking is the greatness. Because he will be looking for, because of you it happened and all, that's what, people, he should not think, let me get, his, let him at least, because, tell him, now he is forgiven, because that's what he says. And for that, he says, Rama says, you don't do anything and all. You just accept my mother Kaikeyi and my brother Bharata as your wife and son. Because, when she asked that, he expresses, I would not have thought, my wife would be asking this and my son would be looking for this and all. He says, I know forgiving and all. Because you should not have any ill will towards your wife, my mother. He doesn't say Kaikai, as your wife, my mother. You just accept her as your wife, and my brother Bharata as your one of the finest sons. That is what I want. He asks his father. He doesn't look for, because I have to suffer because of you. All those things are not there. Like why every turn of Ramayana, the highest thought which no one would think of, in those circumstances is being brought about and identified, and everywhere it has been given a beautiful color, and so is Kamban, so is in Ramcharitramanas, everywhere it has been given. So after that, because finally they are all being Abhishechya Salankayam, Ratasendram Vibhishanam. So once Ravana death is over, then immediately, because there is no one is there, entire clan has died. Vibhishana has surrendered to him, and Vibhishana little hesitant, should he to, because he has not listened to him. He said, "You are not my brother, because you are going to take umbrage, under the Rama and all." At that point of time, Rama says, once the death has taken place, he is like my brother. If you don't do the funeral rites, if you lost rites, and I will do it. That's why finally Vibhishana does it. After that, Abhishechya Salankayam, Rakshasendra Vibhishanam. He gives the crown to the Vibhishana. Kritakrityastato Ramo Vijwara Pramodadaham. So free from distress, once everything comes to sort of falling in place, Kritakritya, everything, because all the deal has been done, the way it should have been done, without any sort of a stain on the moral code of conduct or righteousness. So then he was distress free, and Sita also, finally, has been given by Agni, and the entire all the Triloka and the Sarachara, they all know, because how graceful the Mula Prakriti Sita, she's the one, and she's the one creator of the Prakriti. With those all those things, because the things are going to be like, going towards a very positive stance, finally it culminates. Where it going to culminate? Devatabhyo varam prapya samuttapya cha vanaran. What he asks immediately and all, though he has got the power and all, he asks the all the devatas and all the, because these vanaras are nothing but devatas who have taken the amsa of vanaras. So they are nothing, vane charate iti vanaraha. So they are all being brought back to life. Those who have lost their life during the battle, all the vanaras get their life back. Devatabhyo varam prapya samutapya cha vanaran Ayodhyam prasthito Ramah pushpahena sahritavrataha. So with all his retinue and the paraphernalia, he takes the pushpaka, that viman which was there available with Ravana. With that, because now Vibhishana is the crown king, he offers pushpaka, to be taken him to Ayodhya. They all go with that. So before going, they go to the Bharadwaj ashram, because where through that only they have come to Chitrakoot and Dandakaranya and all. They go and offer their obeisance to Bharadwaja. Bharadwaj ashramam gatva Ramam Satyaparakramaha Bharatasyantikam Ramo Hanumantam Yasarjat. So once they have gone to Bharadwaj ashram, they said that then they go to where Nandigram, where Bharata is there. So during the course of their journey in Pushpak Vimanam, others don't know what has happened. Why he is going to Nandigram and why is he worried about Bharata and all. He gives the entire, narrates the story during the travel. On going to Bharadwaj, then they sent Hanuman to Bharata first, so that because he is waiting just for 14 years, exact 14 years. Even if it is there is more than a minute, he would have committed, he would have entered Agni. There is one more. Sita has been through Agni, and then Bharata will be entering it. That will type of be happening. So that Hanuman goes there, and Hanuman introduces and tells him, what has happened. So Bharata is assuaged. Yes, his brother is going to be back and all. पुनराख्यायिकां जल्पन् सुग्रीवसहितश्च पुष्पकं तत्समारुह्य नन्दिग्रामं ययौ तथा. And after leaving the hermitage of Bharadwaja, he gives him all the stories till such time they are reaching the Nandigram. And when he shows all the places while flying over flying to Nandigram, and finally Nandigram, once they reach, they all reached Nandigram, where Bharata is awaiting his brother and all the retinue. Nandigrame jatam hitva bhraturbihi sagito nadaha Rama Sita anuprapya rajam punaravaptavan. Then finally Rama, he gives up his the entire mated hair, and he takes up because the whatever the princely gate is there, he takes that, and so that he can once again be onto this. But he doesn't do, because he is not in a hurry as after all. But it is Bharata. He wants I will not be able to because there is a lot of dialogues that is going on. He says, no, I will not be, I am not fit enough. Somehow I have carried on, because you are not here. But I am not, because you can't compare me, I am like a donkey, you are a horse. I am nowhere near to that. And because somehow, all these days, your padukas, they have given me the inspiration. I was getting the vibration out of that. I am doing that. He says all those things, and he is also happy. And Shatrugna immediately arranges for everything. And they are all being prepared, for the sort of, the ensuing Patabhishekam and all. Pragishtamiduto lokam lokastushtaha pushtaha sudharmikaha. The one who are highly rejoiced and who are all pushtaha, sushtaha in the sense, pushtaha in the sense they are having all the prosperity and wealth of happiness, all of them. Sudharmikaha, because they are all righteously been waiting for all these days. Pragrishtam midato, because they are all waiting for the grand occasion. All those things. And this is the pragrishto, in the sense this is the only occasion which they were looking for all these years. Niramayo Hirogascha Durbhikshavarjatitha, because without diseases, Arogascha, because without anything and all, and Sudhirmika, free from fear of famine and all, with all the people, they are going to be, they are just to be in a sort of a blissful mood. There is nothing to worry about. Now Rama is there, everything is going to be hunky-dory. We don't have to worry about anything. There is no going to be calamity or chaos, anything like that. There are a whole lot of, because the description in Valmiki Ramayanam, of course, some of them we will be seeing here itself. Na Putra Maranam, because there is no, because child death was not there. Because most of the biggest any disease comes, because any sort of a pandemic or epidemic, because that happens. No putra maranam, kinchid drakshanti purusha kvachit. So it is not, there is nothing, because people are suffering from untimely diseases, untimely death. नार्यश्च विवदा नार्यश्च न विवदा नार्यश्च न विधवा नित्यं भविष्यन्ति पतिव्रताः. There is no widow in this Ramarajam. In the sense, most of them, they're living with their husbands, till such time, they are alive in this world. Bhavishyanti pativrataha, because they were all, for having a chasteful life and happy life all through and all. Na jagnijam, na jagnijam, Bayam kinchit na apsumajjanti jantavaha. There was no sort of a wildfires. There is no sort of a floods. There is no tsunami type of thing. Na vadajam bayam, because there is no blaze wind which is coming up. Na kinchinapi jwarakritam tataha, because there is no pandemic or diseases. Na chapi shudbayam tatra, because there is no famine. There is no sort of a want of food. Nothing, because they were having granaries full. Taskara bhayam tataha, na taskara bhayam tataha, no robbery, no sort of the untowards incident that is happening in society. Nothing was there. Nagarina cha rashtrani, dhanadanya yutani cha, all the entire country and the entire, the villages, everything is full of grains, full of all the growths and all the facilities that is available. Whatever has been described in Lanka, in Sundarakandam, the same thing that happens in Ayodhya and other places when he was ruling the entire, the Bharatvarsha. Nityam pramudita sarve yata krita yuge tata. All the subjects were like, as in the Kriti Yuga, it's a Satya Yuga. So there were no bad thoughts, and everyone is highly elevated. In fact, because it was said Veda was not divided into four, it was only one. People had the capacity to master that entire, all the four Vedas, it was only one Veda. But only in Dwapara Yuga, when the capacity of the people have come down, Vedavyasa has taken the sort of, the effort to divide the Vedas so that at least they are able to master one of them, because they will not be able to do the entire Veda. So likewise, the capacity of the people go on coming down Yuga after Yuga. And Kali Yuga, it is the lowest. Ashwameta Sateirishva Tata Bahuswarnakaihi Gavam Gotyayutam Datva Vidyadbayo Vidipurvakam Asamkeyam Danam Datva Brahmanebhyo Mahayashaha. See, then as a king, he has to do Ashwamedha Satairishtva Tada Bahuswarnakai, because Ashwamedha Yaga you have to do. You have to allow the horses to run wherever it goes. And wherever, and you will have to go on, because they're giving the sort of a charity to everyone. Bahuswarnakai, gold, and all those things. You will have to give it to whoever deserves. Gavam Gotyayutam Datva, because like you will have to give all the pasus, you will have to give Datva, Vidyadbayo, Vidipurvakam, everything, whatever has been prescribed in the Vedas, you have to do everything and all. And no one should go without anything, everyone should get it, irrespective of the fact. Having donated plentiful gold and crores of cows, and wealth cannot be counted, because even anyone who can't count, he will have enough. No one will be wanting more, because whatever has been offered is more than enough for him. Asamkeyam Danam Datva Brahmanebhyo Mahayashaha Rajavamshan Satagunan Sthapaishyati Ragavaha Chaturvarnyam Chalokesmin Sve Sve Dharmaniyotshati. Everyone was following their dharmas as it is. And in the sense, because why, because the Chaturvarnam and all those things, see, every society has a segment. Whether you like it and all, if I do the agriculture, and I will be doing an agriculture. Either I may be working in an agricultural university, and if I do the academic studies, if I do, or otherwise, I may be doing a lot of things like Dr. N.S.Ramachandran, bringing the green revolution and all, for the benefit of the people. Likewise, if you are a scientist, you will be doing it, and or if you are doing in the administration, you will be doing it. Everyone has got certain ordained duty to do. Without, because the allocation of the responsibilities in the society, a society cannot function as a society. Of course, because this is where exactly we have a debate, because there is a very famous sort of a talk uh, of Dr. Ambedkar, which was not delivered. He was about to give the talk, but it was not delivered. He was about to give the talk in Lahore, I believe. It is the annihilation of the caste. It was way back in the 1930s, in particular sort of a congregation. Ambedkar was respected by intelligentsia as well as everyone and all. There was they wanted to bring about the sort of a harmony in the society, homogeneity in the society. So at that point of time, because everyone had a view, and so is Ambedkar. He had his view, annihilation of the caste. He said the caste has been taken a different connotation, though it had a sort of a different color and all. It has taken a different sort of a dimension by virtue of the people, because basically the human beings have got the tendency to dominate one over the other. In Ramarajya and all, because it's a equality. Equality in the sense, you do your job. Everyone minds doing his job. That's all, nothing more than that. You are not bothered about it. Even, because in the same function, people will be more bothered about it. How is he doing it? I mean, is he doing the same thing as I'm doing, or is he doing something different? Likewise, even the organization has got, because same industry, different organization has got a different profile. And every organization has got a different culture. That is very important. The organization culture is very, very important. The success of the organization, because the organization culture will see through the companies even in time, several centuries it will see through. So some of the great companies like Tata's, which are all there for 100 years, they've all seen through all the bad days and the good days, and they've all finally, gone through, and finally they got the benefit of it. And they have not gone down. Even they have faced the bad days, because even the steel price was low, even the raw material was not available. They have seen, but the organization culture, the commitment of the employees, the commitment of the employees, and the whole organization culture is very important. But if you are just fair with the friends, everyone is coming for only sort of few benefits and all, the organization can't run for long time. See, entire thing has been brought about, because in the Ramaraja, whatever has been talked about, it is not the utopian concepts. The concept is, everyone does, his job, minds his job. He will be excelling in this job. He's not able to excel in the job because he is minds about others' job, what others are doing, what I am doing, what I am getting, what others are getting, and these are all your perception. Because you don't know how people have struggled for years, because we may be seeing all great organizations, who got in the top, in the who are in the top, because 100, in the world we will see, but they've all worked for, because they have gone through so many periods. They have done so much of R&D. They have spent so much of money. They have also undergone so much of turbulence. They have withstood everything and all. So likewise in human life is also like that, because it's not a person who is found to be success, because always you see his photo and he is the wealthiest man, or he is the most renowned person, or he is the most, he has got the reputation like this. All those things, that doesn't come overnight, because he has gone through, his life is a sort of a story of himself. He might not have written the biography. And one of the great thing, because all of us will come to sort of get the better understanding, is to read the biographies. In biography, you will see, how great, people have undergone, how great organization has undergone. There was a company called Daewoo, I think you might be knowing, in South Korea, which was a very successful company. How it was a successful company? They will go wherever the conflict is there. They will try to take risk and do the things and all. And the chairman of the company wrote sort of a biography called "The World is Paved with Gold." In the sense, wherever conflict is there, you take the risk and you get much better return, and as well you got a highest risk. Risk reward is based on the type of risk you are taking. Likewise, that is one concept, because others have worked, because diligently. Some of the organization never compromise on their principles. They go by that, because some pharma companies, they're still there. And even in US also, certain pharma companies are owned by trust. They don't go here and there and all. They are sort of, they want to do only R&D. They do the R&D and they go about it. They get it, and they leave the product, and they are working on the R&D only continuously and all. That's all. And they go for a profit, and finally the profit is again flowed back, because into they're all a trust, because it's not again being put in as a dividend to the investors and all, not like that. There are certain organizations like this. So as because Tata is being held by trust, because they are doing so many, because the cancer research, even the academic, even the Indian Institute of Science was founded by them. So many organizations are there. The likewise, because when we talk about the concepts of Ramayana, it is all finally the highest principles what we are doing. Whatever we are doing, we are the best, within our means and within our control and within our capability. So whatever we do, finally we will get the benefit of it. This is what the Ramayana is trying to bring about. In the this only, I think, because we will be seeing in the couple of more mantras, and it will be giving the Palashruti and all. We will be seeing that, and apart from that, we will also be seeing some of the great concept, which has been brought about in Yuddhakanda, because some of the mantras which has not come here, we will be taking it. It all said, because finally Rama, how he ruled and how many years ruled, because that is given in the Ramayana itself. We will be seeing that also. With that, because we will be culminating tomorrow into the our Samkshepa Ramayanam, the in part of it, and covering part of the mantras which is coming about it. Day after tomorrow, we will be taking the important mantra. Tomorrow, once after the Samkshepa Ramayanam is complete, we will be having all Plashutri and all. Day after tomorrow being Ramanavami, 17th. In fact, today is the Nakshatra of Rama. Punarvasu is today. But today happens to be a Saptami. But since Navami is the Tithi, is being celebrated as Ramanavami conventionally, it is going to be on day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, I think, because it will be coming to, tomorrow is Pushya Nakshatram, Punarvasu, Pushyam, and then it will be Ayilyam. Ayilyam is the nakshatra of Lakshmana, because all the Rama, actually Rama, after that Bharata was born, is the Pushyam, and the Lakshmana and Satrughna, because they are twins, the Ayilyam. Ayilyam is the nakshatram of that, and because Navami is the Tithi, based on which Ramanavami is celebrated. Otherwise, today is the nakshatram of Rama, and today is an auspicious day as well. And because the entire Chaitra Navaratri is auspicious, and day after tomorrow, his birth is the most auspicious. With his birth only, it's also said on the Rama also returned to Ayodhya on the Ugadi day. So that's how, because when we said Chaitra Navaratri, he is coming with the glory, with all the entire retinue, he enters into Ayodhya and Nandigram and all. In fact, because in Indonesia, Bali, being following the Hindu calendar, and because they are following our own Hindu calendar, Ugadi is an official holiday in Indonesia. It's a national holiday. And on that day, they observe silence. The Balinese Hindus, so they have got certain rituals. They all pray to the Lord, because they have got, because Nirguna Brahman, they have it, Parabrahman. On that day, they don't want any sound to disturb them. So Denpasar, on that day, Ugadi day, there will not be any flight landing in Denpasar, Bali. So the entire Denpasar will be silent zone. So no one, not even in the cars will be honking, flying in the road and all those things. So they are observing, the entire Balinese island will be like that. So likewise, who is following that? Because like Ugadi is the day, same Rama is also written. It has got such a auspicious thing. We have also started our journey on that. With this, we will be completing today's day, and tomorrow we will be having the culmination of Samkshepa Ramayanam. Day after tomorrow, we will be reciting the important portion of the Pattabhishekam and concluding it. With this, I will conclude today's session. स्वस्ति प्रजाप्त परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिंसा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनः भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्यन्ति पृथिवी सच्चशालिनी तेषो इन्द्रभृगितो ब्रह्मणा सन्तु निर्भयाः लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजयः येषाम् इन्दिवरश्यामो हृदयस्थो जनार्दनः रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः मंगलम कौशलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाब्धिये चक्रवर्ती तनुजाय सर्वभौमाय मंगलम कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा अनुष्कृतो स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. And the Ekasloka Sundarakandam also I have sent it. Tomorrow we will recite it in the beginning itself so that you know how to know that and all. And little bit on Aditya Hridayam, we will just tell about it. And I think most of you may be, I think, reciting or at least trying to do it. Even if you don't know, I think if you can, if you have the mantra lyrics and try to do that every day, because even 2 stanzas is good enough. It will give you so much of a peace, health, wealth, and everything and all. That's what, because what we need, the mental balance and the mental happiness, bliss is the highest wealth we need for. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramachandran. Thank you.
Pakla sir. Bye. Bye, Prabhupada. Bye, Ram.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Bye. Bye.